All right, hey guys, welcome back to episode 60 of WAM. I hope y'all are having a really great day so far.
David, it's like 42.
Yeah, we're on episode 42.
We're on 60 because we did the other
WAM summer bits. They all corrupted. We don't have the files anymore.
Yeah, Gladiator 2. We couldn't save it.
Even the Markiplier episode.
Yeah, it's cooked.
That might have been the worst one.
There's nothing we could do. It was destroyed. But, either way, welcome to WAM episode 42. This week we watched Alien Romulus. We know before we talked big about WAM summer, we all sure did watch movies over the summer and we all do WAM. But either way, we watched Alien Romulus. It was a really fun movie. We all had a lot of fun with it. And I know David was probably the most excited out of all of us. So if you want to run through your little description there of the plot kind of before we
of course. So Alien Romulus, pretty brief description. Rain, an orphan who lives with her adopted brother Andy, who's a reprogrammed android, works on the mining colony Jackson Star. They're looking for a way out, and so she joins up with her ex-boyfriend Tyler to go retrieve cryopods from this derelict space station named Romulus and Remus, so that they can escape to a different planet. However, this plan goes awry when they discover that the station is an abandoned xenomorph research facility, and now they have to escape the ship with the questionable help of the ship's officer android, Rook.
And now remind us, David, you're our lead Alien fan here. So,
yes.
So when it comes to talking about this movie's timeline, because that's already confusing, can you lay out where this movie takes place?
Yeah, it's pretty apparent in the first scene, because the first scene that we get in the movie is there is this probe that's exploring the wreckage of the Nostromo from the first movie. So this takes place between the first and second movie. So during this movie, Ripley is in cryosleep from the first movie because she had ejected from the Nostromo when it blew up, and then she went to cryosleep for 50 years and then was picked up later. So this takes place in between the first and second movie.
I forgot it was 50 years. I really like how the Alien franchise does space travel time.
Yeah, because it's just big cryosleep. Big into cryosleep.
Yeah. It's just everyone wasting time.
Dude, like, Ripley is so conscious for the entire Alien franchise of movies. Ripley's conscious for all of 5 days. I'm so serious.
Dude, that's a bad week.
Because she's conscious for 1 day in the first movie, then a day or two in the second movie, and then in the third movie, another couple of days. So it's maybe 5 or 6 days that she's not even a week. She's fully conscious throughout the entirety of Alien.
Damn. That's rough, dude.
Yeah, she does not get a break. She wakes up and immediately there's another alien to deal with.
In terms of, so this movie was, I'll say, our more return to form in terms of Alien movies, because the last ones we had were Alien, or Prometheus, and then Alien Covenant, which were both, most known for just being very, very different in just tone and feel and everything from all the previous Alien movies, and was kind of almost a reset because they were all prequels. And so this is the first movie kind of coming out of that, what was going to be a trilogy. And I think now really they're just kind of leaving it in the dust. What do y'all feel about, I guess, just forgetting Prometheus and Covenant and then moving on to this new, let's say, saga? Because they're definitely going to just keep trying to make more stuff.
Oh, I hope they keep doing them. I hope they keep doing it. I would eat them up.
I agree with Nick. You talked earlier about how you found Prometheus and Covenant very interesting when watching the whole series because they break from the standard type of Alien movie and establish something new. I think the bounds that they took to make Prometheus and Covenant original were really enjoyable. And overarchingly, I love the themes they deal with and how Ridley Scott won't shut up about how much he hates God. But I also think that Covenant and Prometheus were at times riddled with basic errors. I'd say Covenant suffers from a weak third act that can come from a lot of movies. I think Prometheus has the whole what this character does is stupid trope, but I still love them. I wish we could get a finish to that trilogy because David might be my favorite character to ever come from Alien. I'd put him far above Ripley because I hate women.
Yeah, that's really what I was gonna say too. But like, I mean, the whole plot line that we had with David and the synthetic stuff, in the androids in Prometheus and Covenant, and those being just so directly connected to each other, I just really enjoyed. I liked not being confined on a ship. Not that it's bad, but I've just seen it, 3 or 4 times at this point, and I want to see the aliens in a different light. I enjoyed the oh, this is a whole planet and like the ancient history kind of aspect of it in Prometheus and everything. But I did enjoy, since we did that return to form in this movie, there were a lot of things that we could, I'll say, revisit, where sometimes it was a little much, but everything was revisited, I think, in a very faithful way. Anything that was shown that was from previous films or referencing them was done very well. All the effects were practical. I mean, just the opening sequence with the ship and all the lights turning on looked great. But how do y'all feel about just the plot structure, and really, do you have any standout moments kind of in this movie itself, in Romulus?
I really liked getting to see like teens in this alien setting, because in all the previous movies it's been adults. With every single movie it's been like full like grown ass people like dealing with alien stuff. So I liked getting kind of to see like a younger group get to deal with this thing and just get thrown into this like abomination horror of a franchise. So it was really cool getting to kind of see this new like, yes, it was going back to form with inside like a ship and stuff like that, but we were also getting kind of a whole new like set or like a type of characters to deal with. And so it really like, I think, helped it feel like a breath of fresh air in kind of the franchise almost. But also like you can't go wrong with the classic alien setting of like claustrophobic, stuck in a ship. You don't know, they're in the fucking vents, like they're everywhere. They're in the walls, like they are the walls at like certain points. You seen like that one shot where they're in the camera and they're like, it's watching us, and you see like it shift in the corner a little bit because it was like there. Dude, it was so good.
It was so good. What I especially like about this younger cast is that we are leaving, I guess, the standard trope of Alien, where it's like, okay, these are people that are having some bad shit happen when they're at their job. And when you have a middle-aged cast, that's incredible. But I love how this is like a rebellion when it comes to these teens. And I think there's a really great message in there about people that are like illegally leaving their home because they've seen how it fared for their parents and they're all dead. It's an interesting story to take with Alien, and it could have been delved into deeper, but I ultimately like how they showed that mindset.
Yeah, I do really enjoy the whole aspect of, before they get onto the ship, all their motivation for it, all the characters' motivations, who's working with who and why they're working together was all really believable. I enjoyed the story. It was down to earth. I really do kind of wish I could see more of the mining planet, because in like the intro scene to our main character, Rain, she's walking up to this lady that's like the Star Wars credits guy. And she's just like, hey, my time to leave. And she's like, nah, sorry, you have double the time now. Oopsies. And I really wanted to
catch-22.
Yeah, and I wanted to see more of that like universe, because we've heard so much about how the company's horrible and like they just treat people like, they're ones and zeros and just literally like just laborers. And I do want to kind of explore more into that. But their reasoning for getting on the ship wasn't just, oh, there's a distress call, we should go like check that out. And so I enjoyed that aspect, because that has been the reason for, I think, like 3 movies or something.
Yes.
Maybe 4, yeah. But a lot.
Surely a lot, yeah. Let me see here. Oh, this part has always been a favorite of mine in the Alien franchise. I love android conflict. Just talking about like where androids fit alongside humans is obviously a big player in Ridley Scott films. This is the same guy that did Blade Runner. But this movie did it in such a great way, because it's establishing, like, I guess more than any other, do you view this android as a person, especially with the relationship between Andy and Rain. I love just like, is this your brother? Are you willing to risk your life for him? It was fun.
It kind of goes into the same, not the same path as more so Covenant than Prometheus, but it kind of delves into the same like android stuff that those movies do. Because I remember in Prometheus, it wasn't as much. It was just like David's being a little shit. He's just fucking with things that he because he thinks it's funny. But then Covenant, you get into it, and it's like, oh, he's like creating like creatures, like he's making shit, and then he deals with what was the other name of the android that like looked exactly
it was like William or something like that.
It was
like
Walter.
Walter. Yeah, it was Walter, and then you see kind of their
yes, mother,
like comparison. It was almost like Andy and Ash in this movie, or Andy and Rook in this movie. Kind of their like conflicting sides of it. And so I really like that part of this, but I mean Andy was so fucking cool. Andy was fucking sick. I loved him.
On Andy, I guess we can kind of start talking about more of the specific characters. Andy personally, you know, in the story we see him, he gets that little data disk to upgrade him and give him authorization just to go around the ship, and then it gives him a new prime directive to do what the company wants. And I do enjoy that bit. What I didn't like about it is that I feel like he didn't go far enough, where we see a glimmer of it where it's like Andy just fucking breaks out in a sprint to go kill like the other person that's infected, and like that was sick, that was awesome, or stop the ship from leaving or whatever. But then he just doesn't make it, and he's like, oh darn.
Yeah, there's that one scene when they're being chased by the facehuggers in the room, and you see like Rain and Tyler, they're like running, and then it cuts to Andy, and he is like hauling ass. I mean, stone-faced. I mean, just running, and like, that was it was so cool. Funny.
It was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed that. But I feel like in any other moments, he was just kind of a little bit of an asshole in the rest of it, and that's really the most that it was, because like he wasn't looking in the interest of the other people, but then he was just kind of there. It's not like he was sabotaging them intentionally. It's not like he was trying to get rid of them all. And that's kind of what I thought Rook was kind of telling him to do, like just to kill him now. But then nothing happened, and the solution to the problem was, oh, we got to take the disc out. Yeah, that was a bad idea, huh, guys? And like that was disappointing to me. After the huge reveals that we had with David and Walter and the twists and everything in the other movies, it was just a little disappointing to see in here that it didn't go a little deeper.
That's fair. Yeah. I think one thing that can stand out for how Andy differentiates from someone like David is the idea of, ultimately, David wants to kill all people in the most efficient way possible, and that ends up being the xenomorph. For David, his prime goal is to take the Prometheus fire off of the ship. The Prometheus fire being like steroids for people. Yeah,
it was like a medical thing to like perfect humanity, or like
it was supposed to like get rid of cancer and illnesses and everything like that. But then they give it into a rat, and the rat fucking dies.
the rabbit the rat like morphed into this. It didn't even look like a xenomorph. It just looked like this mass of like goo and spikes.
This insane like Dead Space kind of ex-alien creature, and it wouldn't have been so cool to see like a human being go through that process. But it's okay. She just shit out Neg.
I think it's very interesting how they. Cool. Like, some people have complained that it's talking too much of the science behind the xenomorph, but I like the idea of it saying specifically, it's complete control over metabolism, because that will kind of make you grow. But I think the best scene to sort of show how David becomes the company guy is when he sacrifices Kay when she's trapped behind the door, and then when Rain goes, "I can't believe you could do that," he just goes, "What? Leave someone behind?" My favorite line. Such a good line.
Going back to what you said about going into the science of the xenomorph, that's actually the one thing that conflicts me with Covenant and Prometheus, to where I love those movies. I like getting to see the xenomorph, and I like the premise and stuff. However, I always like the thing that they did in Alien 1, where it was just kind of like, oh, aliens are just this thing. They're just this thing in space. When they find like that ship with the giant dude with like a chest burst out of him. And I don't know. I always like that kind of like, oh, we don't know what the hell they are. Like, they're just this thing out in space, and kind of getting to that point, we're seeing how they're genetically engineered and created by some funny little guy on a planet. It just kind of took away the mystique a little bit. I don't hate it. It's just kind of like, I don't know. I kind of like the original, kind of just, they're just out there.
I do understand that completely, but in that, since Prometheus and Covenant came out like so much later, obviously, than Aliens 1, it is really I think, easy to prefer that, but I like the idea of if I saw Prometheus and Covenant first, and then it's like, okay, well, the company being David, because they like get data and everything from his fucking face and eyes and whatever. The company's like, okay, well, we've created this goddamn sick super being. It's somewhere out in space. We got to go get it now. Let's like get our people and like expend them whatever we need to do to get that thing in space back. I like that idea. That's cool and fun. But again, I still want to see more of the company, and I hope that they go into it in like future films. But what did you guys think about our main character, or just our main actresses, I guess, in terms of like their acting chops in here? Like, do you think they performed well through the movie, or do you think they could have had more strength in any spots?
I think they did great. I really liked Rain a lot as a protagonist. I mean, it fit the bill in terms of like what you're looking for in like an alien like film. I mean, just the final girl that you're having and all of them, but it was different because she was a lot younger than them. She was basically like a kid dealing with all this. So I really liked Rain. I thought she did a really good job in terms of protagonist.
I think I loved Rain too, especially when you compare her to some of the other final girls that we've had throughout the series. I'll still probably prefer Ripley to her just because Ripley is an all-time greatest hooper ever. Dr. Shaw, and I forgot the name of the girl from Covenant. I think Rain is just overall very great performance.
Yeah, I think Rain did really do well. I think really all the actors and actresses in this movie did really well. There was no one or no performance. I'm gonna take that back. There was almost no performance that I thought was really bad.
Well, tell us, who did you not like?
The stupid like stoner character who was
eyebrow
like
guy.
Eyebrows, who's just like an idiot asshole. The only cool thing he did was he did a big drag of a joint, like when they were like taking off. That was cool.
Okay, I was gonna say, why do you not like him?
Because like a prick the rest of the movie. He was just a fucking asshole. And when he died under the acid on the fucking space vagina, I was happy.
I like how when he dies, he's just scratching at everything, and then immediately he just like and falls to the floor. It's just such a simple, like, okay, I'm alive, and then I'm dead.
I'm dead now.
Yeah, I remember watching when Nick and I were in the theater watching it. With that scene when they took off and the guy took the drag of the joint, we both looked at each other and were like, "Yeah, I like that guy. I like that guy a lot."
It went downhill so fast.
It went downhill immediately after that.
Yeah,
just something in the water.
Oh, dude, it was horrible. But after all the characters and everything, I know I kind of touched on it earlier, that intro scene where we get the ship turning on and all the buttons activating and everything. I really loved it. Really great sound effects, really great music swells with it and everything. How do you guys feel about just the technical elements, the camera work in this? It was pretty insane through this movie. It had a pretty huge budget.
It was incredible. The biggest thing that blew my mind was this is a movie that has the budget and was made for Hulu, and then later got a theatrical release. To do all this on $80 million, to have some of the best set design of like the whole series, which is incredible because Alien is well known for its set design, to have incredible sound, to have incredible visuals, all for a Hulu original, just shows that there should never be such a thing as a streaming movie.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. And the first thing I want to mention before I go into anything else that I liked, practical effects. I love practical effects. I love them. And there's a specific scene that I'll mention later on that had my favorite use of practical effects, I think, in the whole movie. But this movie made me so happy because what I really loved about the original Alien was the practical effects of the alien costume. And it's something that they really kind of like went away from in later movies, especially in Covenant. There's a scene in Covenant where the alien goes upside down. It's on the ship and it goes upside down and climbs down a ladder, and the tube sticking out of its back literally clip through the floor. Like you can watch the tubes on its back literally like clip through the ground as it climbs down the ladder. And that was something that kind of like made me lose touch with Covenant Prometheus, but this one really brought it back, and I think did so well with the effects in terms of the costume design.
And they used puppets and costumes and everything.
Yeah,
like, they brought it all back. They really went full.
Yeah, they use animatronics for that one scene when like the facehuggers are chasing them. They use like these little robots that like
hex bugs.
Basically hex bugs. They had straight up hex bugs with like with a face hugger shit on them. It was so
freaky
good.
hex bugs.
Oh, so
that's crazy.
Freaky hex bugs.
Now, just imagine somewhere out there, is a face hugger that has like a 10-foot schlong that they put on that one girl.
Yeah.
Oh, true. When they like pulled it off of her.
Oh, it was so long.
Dude, yeah. We were watching that. And I was like, oh, it's still going.
Dude, it was good. It was great. All the practical effects in this movie really, really sold it. If anything, I think it was Aliens 3 was the first one that I saw that had a lot of CGI. Where the aliens, I think, were just completely CG in that. And then just from then on, the alien wasn't really as fun. It didn't feel very imposing. It never felt like it was really, in the room with the actors. And a lot of the actors on set did say that it was a lot easier and it was a lot more fun just because they could feel, scared and get more into it just with the physical thing sitting there in front of them instead of just like imagining it. And I think that's really important going forward for horror movies and just movies in general, if the actors can equally get as into it as the audience is.
Yeah, that's something I've always vouched for in film. Just practical effects, I think, trump everything. There's certain points when like, all right, use a practical effect here and there, or I mean, use a CGI here and there. But like, I think practical effects are what can make or break a movie. Like, I think one of my favorite ones is The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. They use practical effects in that. What do you think?
I thought you were thinking about like the original Fantastic Four, The Thing, compared to the CGI one.
I mean, that's a decent comparison, but like the original, like John Carpenter's The Thing has probably my favorite use of practical effects in a movie.
It's so good.
Because it's so good, and it really adds the feeling of not only for the actors but for the audience too.
No, even now watching that movie, you're still looking at some of the gore and you're like, ew, what is that? Yeah. And like it's great for a movie from like 1980 something.
Oh yeah. It has to be probably the best practical effects that have ever happened. I can't think of one that would trump it, honestly.
Oh, it's I honestly, I think it has the best use
in terms of horror
effects.
It's probably it's definitely up there for sure. But in terms of like our pacing and kind of the dialogue between characters, how do y'all feel overall about this movie?
There was a complaint that I heard a lot about this movie in which it references lines, motifs, props that have been throughout the franchise. One thing I noticed is that when they say some of the lines that I caught on to, I didn't catch as much as other people did, but I thought they brought something new in the performance. The one that I love is when when Andy saves the day when Rain's like about to be killed by 1,000 xenomorphs, and just like jumps onto the last xenomorph, shoots in the head, and goes, "Get off her, you bitch." I love how like you could definitely tell he's just a little guy. He doesn't have
he was like
a lot of
scared little
intimidation.
kid hoping his parents don't hear him.
I do understand a lot of the complaints with it feeling so samey. But I think it's important to, really cement that this is still part of the franchise. It's still acknowledging the old movies. It's still like in the canon and everything. And that it's not a new branch of alien movies, like that we had in Prometheus and Covenant almost, where it's just so disconnected. Yeah. And I think doing those references was important to keep that feel. But to a degree, for the people that were just wanted like a brand new alien movie, I can understand that kind of annoyance.
Yeah, I get it. But honestly, I don't care. I'm a sucker for these movies. I love the xenomorph. This was like a great return to formula kind of thing after Covenant and Prometheus. Not saying they were bad, but this was like kind of a great return to what Alien really started as. And I think they did a phenomenal job really paying homage to the originals and just really paying a lot of respect to what Ridley Scott created.
The one idea I really didn't like in this movie was just the alien-human hybrid. We already did that kind of idea in 1997 in Alien Resurrection. It really just felt like they took the idea from a movie that bombed and then went, okay, well, we can try it again, just with like prettier, right? And they're like, yeah, do that. And I just feel like it was a little disappointing just to reuse another idea that we've already seen before. And then also since it's a prequel and then it's a reuse of an idea that just feels even more lame. And then on top of it all, like I said before, we saw the rat transform and everything, and that was kind of teed up. And I understand that the woman was pregnant, and we heard that in the first maybe like 20 fucking minutes or something. But like for her to just shit out the alien egg and then like the only difference in her body being like she's making goopy black alien breast milk. Like that was a little disappointing. I wanted to see something cool. I really did want like a Dead Space, huge, like whatever mutated giant person, like their skin ripping because their bones are getting so big kind of thing. Like I just wanted something like that where she transformed and then she just kind of died. And like that was just disappointing.
I definitely sort of wish that she had transformed, but I can't be mad with how incredible I found the little baby Xeno to be. That thing's scary as hell.
And you just saw like the little baby just chilling in the egg before it sank and fell.
And I understand what you mean about playing off of Alien Resurrections. It can feel kind of cheap. I've always had the mindset of the things that deserve to be remade are the things that didn't land the first time. That's why for the longest time, the movie I've been wanting to remake the most has been Barnyard, because I think that I could make it better.
See, Barnyard landed the first time.
Yeah, I don't know why you're wanting to remake it. Are you saying that Barnyard movie wasn't good?
Yeah, that was great. Back to the Barnyard, even good show. Like, I don't understand your issue.
I actually do have one thing I do want to talk about.
Oh, God damn it!
I actually thought the Offspring was kind of sick. It was a big like. I totally get what you're saying, Nick. By like, it was just like a repeat of like Resurrection, but for me, it felt like a big palate cleanser from that thing in Resurrection. Like it was like almost like they were fixing it. Like, oh yeah, this is what it would be, or whatever. I really liked that, and it was just really freaky looking, and especially that first scene that you see it in, it really kind of scratched that itch that I have for like horror movies and stuff. And it would have been cool if the Xenomorph was the final thing that they fought, but honestly, I'm not upset. I thought the little Offspring guy was kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it's okay that it wasn't a Xenomorph. I just didn't want it to. I wanted the lady to do something. It was just it's just the baby, and then she's just making goop. Well, okay.
Well, you'll be seeing her again soon, not as a giant monster.
Isn't she Dora?
She was Dora. She's also the new Hawk Girl for the Superman movie.
Oh, really?
Okay, so I won't see her.
So you're lying. You'll see her, Nolan.
Yeah, you will see her. Yeah. But what was y'all's overall favorite scene, do you think, in the movie?
I'll let Nolan go first on this one.
Oh, thank you. My favorite scene. This is me because I love the moment in a movie where you can see the kettles start to boil. Mm-hmm. I loved the scene where the the gravity pulse comes on after the acid rain when they're climbing in the elevator shaft. I'm a sucker for setups, and everything that was involved in that paid off great. The acid rain, the pulse that we've been seeing throughout, every xenomorph right underneath the elevator, the gun that's stuck in the door. It's everything about it paid off so beautifully. And it ended with the line I liked, "You bitch." I really, really found myself loving that. And this might be shared with some of you guys, but I did not like the reveal of Ian Holmes' deep fake head on the new character Rook, just because it felt needless. It definitely wasn't like seamless. You could tell that it was like deep faked on there. It had that weird like iPhone blur throughout it.
Yeah.
And
especially the mouth. The mouth did not look good at all.
Yeah, the teeth were bad.
There was, at least in the exposition that was at, I'm not a big exposition like force fan, but at least during that, they had really good visuals that would like overlay the message. That was good. And it also distracted me from his weird, uncanny face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my favorite scene is probably going to be when a facehugger jumps up onto the window of a door and it's got just like its tongue, its freaky little alien tongue, like going all around. That was really cool, just because I also wanted to see what the bottom of a facehugger looked like before they were dead and stuff. It just looked neat. But my least favorite was 100% just any scene that stoner guy was in. Just bad. Didn't like him as a character. Didn't like his dialogue. Bad actor. Hope he has a hard life.
Damn.
He can send me an email. Yeah.
Yeah. Great time to remind everyone that WAM does have an email you can send all complaints to. Yeah. But Nick, did you enjoy the rest of that scene when they end up going into the facehuggers' den, hiding within the heat of it?
I did enjoy it. but I would have rathered if they just got through it instead of almost getting through it and then the bitch being like, oh my god, I'm so scared, I'm so fucking scared, and then like screwing it all, because then it just felt like a Chekhov's gun kind of thing where it's like, okay, well, we know they're all gonna attack us at some point. I would have liked just if it's like, no, we're fine.
Yeah. Hey, at least we got the payoff of seeing Andy hauling ass.
Yeah, Andrew did fucking book it in that hallway. That is true.
He was running.
Yeah, but David, what are your favorite and least favorite scenes?
The practical effects. I love the first scene when the xenomorph was emerging from the cocoon, and like you saw like its elongated head like peek out of the fucking like wall pussy almost, and it like slides out, and like it was such a fantastic reveal. And getting to see, because I was watching like behind the scenes stuff and stuff like that, and seeing how it was done. And
have we ever seen them cocoon up like that to like grow big?
We haven't. However, it's not like necessarily not like canon. We've never seen them like not cocoon. We just know we've only seen them just like shed the skin.
Yeah, they just always like
popped out,
run away, and then they come back in like 20 minutes and they're big.
Yeah, there was that scene when they were walking through the ship when like Stoner guy and then the pregnant girl were walking through, and they found like the skin from the face hug or the chest burster that popped out like laying there, and it just straight up looked like somebody left like foreskin on the ground. It was like, because the thing had like shed its skin, and it's like the xenomorph had just gotten circumcised while it was out there in the hallway.
Converted Jewish guy in the back going, sorry guys, my bad.
It's my fault. I left it out to dry. But I really liked that scene with like the practical effects and all that. But I also really liked what Nolan mentioned, the acid blood scene in the hallway when they had turned it 0 gravity to avoid like the blood from hitting the walls and like floor. And they were having to like traverse floating through the air through all these like clumps of acid blood. I just thought that was such a genius idea. I would have never thought about something like that.
That's fair. All right. Well, if y'all don't have anything else to say, what do you think you're going to want to rate it?
9 out of 10, man. 4.5 out of 5. I loved it. It was so good.
I'm probably still going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. I just saw it for the second time. And when I watched Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes the second time, I definitely lost some of the magic. But I don't know, man. Visuals, story, all of it. I loved it. I'll still give it a 4.5.
I want to go see it right now. I want to go see it right now. I want to go see it. Nick, come pick me up. We're going to see it. We're going to see it again right now.
Well, I don't know, because I think I'm going to be like a 3.
So you hate fun?
It was
That's
like,
what you're saying? You hate fun?
I wasn't scared at any point in this movie. It didn't feel like a very scary horror movie. I definitely wanted more. I just wanted more kind of grittier, scare you shitless horror because of how the advertising was, and just like the art of like the big red picture with the face hugger on the person's face. Like that was really cool. And so I expected much more of a chilling kind of experience, and that wasn't there. And then also just all the stuff with the alien human hybrid just really left a bad taste in my mouth. I just kind of wish they had better ideas. But besides that, it was a really fun movie. It was a really pretty movie, and I enjoyed the characters that were in it. So I think 3 is just going to kind of be where I'm at.
That's a really good review, Nick. 10 lashes.
I want you to drop down and give me 20 right now for that. Okay.
All right, man. Well, I'll do that in a minute. But so while we play the ad break, I'm going to do that, and then when we come back for news, then we can like sort that out.
Yeah.
That cool?
No, I want them now.
We can figure this out after the pod.
You don't badmouth Alien in front of me.
Okay, let's go to commercial. Here at WAM, we use this podcast as an artful avenue to blissfully and peacefully vent our fiery, unbridled rage buried deep, deep down. And now you can too.
It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. Feel a sense of zen knowing Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you will always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable.
If you thought about podcasting before and you realize that you need a lot of different tools and services, those days are over. With Zencastr's all-in-one podcasting platform, you can create your podcast all in in one place and distribute to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations. Go to Zencastr.com/pricing and use our code WAM and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan.
We want you to have the same easy experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story.
The headlines.
Come one, come all, we have time for movie news. To start us off, we have to talk about the interviews that the director of Romulus, Fede Alvarez, has been talking about. One of the notable ones is that he said he would love to do an Alien versus Predator film, especially off of the success of the newest Predator film, Prey, another Hulu original. How do you guys
so mad
feel
that
about
it never came out. I'm so mad because it was so good. I loved it. It was finally Predator got its second good movie after the first one, and so it just made me really mad seeing like it was such a good idea too. I mean, everything about it. It made me so mad seeing it just go like straight to streaming. I hated it.
I didn't hear anything about it, but I heard a lot about Prey.
It's really good. It's really, really good. Well, because you said you started watching the Predator movies. You ought to get to Prey now.
Yeah, I'll get to it eventually.
But do you think we need another Alien versus Predator movie? I've heard that Requiem is horrible.
Yes. I need more Alien. I don't care. I just need more Alien. I don't care.
I don't really know anything about Predator. I got like 20 minutes into the first Predator movie and then I went to sleep, but I got to start. I mean, he seems cool. He doesn't seem as cool as the Alien just because like guns and stuff, but I'm into it.
I really like the Predator. I've seen all of them except for I can't remember what year it came out. It's just called like Predator, I think.
Oh yeah, the reboot.
The reboot one. I haven't seen that one.
I've heard bad things, but I also like that director, so I'm in a really bad spot.
Yeah, Predator, first one is good. Second Predator movie, I remember watching that as like a kid and still being like, wow, this movie sucks. Like I was a kid and I loved anything that looked cool. And even like 12-year-old me was like, wow, this movie sucks ass. Like
that's how I felt about Gods of Egypt. Do you guys see that in theaters?
No, I haven't seen that, but I know about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. Don't. It's okay.
But yeah, and then Predators, that third one, the only redeeming part of it was Walton Goggins was in it. And then Prey rocked. So Predator has two good movies.
Okay. And then for some Marvel news, we while we were gone, or we covered this on other WAMs, but the files got corrupted.
They got deleted.
So San Diego Comic-Con came and went, and there was a big announcement there that Robert Downey Jr. will be returning as he will be returning to Marvel as a separate character, Doctor Doom. At the same time, we have confirmation that Ultron and his voice actor will be returning in the Vision series that follows the White Vision.
Is that still going?
Well, no, not WandaVision, but a spin-off. Vision, just Vision.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how I feel about all that. To be honest, I'm just waiting for Spider-Man to come back. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I feel really weird about Robert Downey Jr. coming back, especially because we kind of felt like, or at least me specifically, I felt like Iron Man was a great point for him to like actually get some strong like credit and some good acting chops out there to then move into a world where he's doing better stuff. He did Oppie. He did Oppenheimer. He did the Park Chan-wook show, and he did great in both of those, and those are both acclaimed. And now he's back to doing cape shit. And I love me my superhero stuff, but I also think there are some people that shouldn't be in it because they're better.
He was a normal actor for like when he was a young guy, he was just a normal actor. And then he like totally fell off the bandwagon. And then he came back because of like the Iron Man movies and everything. And now he is only seen as Iron Man. And I think he was starting to get away from it with projects like Oppenheimer and that Park Chan-wook show. But now I don't really know if it's a possibility in the future for him to realistically go into other, just other mediums without it feeling a little weird, just because he has cemented himself so much with the superhero movies.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, it really feels like he's basically just dooming himself. little reference there for like Dr. Doom.
He's a little silly.
It's Dr. Dooming himself.
Yeah, we like to have fun here.
We have fun here on WAM. But and also it really just feels like a cop out almost having RDJ play Doom, because I feel it makes me wonder what was the process for choosing who plays Doom. Were they just like, oh, get RDJ in here, he's a good actor, he's worked with us before, get him in here? Or did they actually like cast other people, or like interview with other people and then just go like, yeah, we're just gonna do RDJ? Because it's, I don't know, either way it just feels icky. And like I feel like they could have gotten somebody else. Like RDJ's already done stuff in Marvel, and I feel like he's done. He's little character called Iron Man. I don't know if y'all have heard of him. He did.
I don't know every Glup shit.
I think he
that's
was
in the
like,
MCU.
yeah, I think he was like Tony Stark or something. But
yeah, it was a really
I don't
small
remember.
character in the Avengers franchise.
But I
Yeah, it
really,
just feels
I do
gross.
understand from a studio standpoint, you know, them wanting to. Marvel right now is in a horrible place in terms of public opinion. Like the MCU to what it was even just a few years ago has just tanked completely. And I can completely understand them looking at their cast and be like, okay, our biggest names have already left. We need someone who's going to be a home run to bring people back into theaters for MCU.
That's fair.
And even if it's going to be, well, let's go see how Robert Downey Jr. is going to fuck this. It's going to be people coming into theaters to see an MCU movie rather than something like the Marvels where people saw it kind of, but then people were like, no, it's pretty bad. And then no one really wanted to after.
Honestly, they might be playing chess and we might be sitting here playing tic-tac-toe. I have no idea.
I think it's an okay move if they don't lean into the like, oh, you were Iron Man, but now you're a bad guy. If they don't lean into that, I think it could be good. But if they do, then I think it's just going to fall on its face.
At least we have confirmation from Robert Downey Jr. that he's playing Victor Von Doom, not just some Tony Stark that turns into Dr. Doom.
Yeah, that's at least relieving to know that they're not going to do like a whole thing that they did with MODOK for Ant-Man, which I haven't seen that movie. But
I liked MODOK. I kind of liked him.
It's just, well, because MODOK was
he was silly, so was that
Yellow
movie.
Jacket that got shrunk down, and so it wasn't really MODOK. But it's at least relieving to know that he is Doom. He's not like Tony Stark brought back or whatever and actually are playing Doom, you know?
Yeah.
And then some more superhero news. Batman is having its 85th anniversary. There's two things you can do to sort of commemorate it. First, the Warner Brothers studio tours have a special Batman related thing where you can go and tour their lots, but it has a big focus on showing Batman paraphernalia and props and everything like that. And at the end of the tour, you get to see Batman 1989 on one of their sound stages. If you're in Los Angeles and you want to spend $300, go do that.
That's not bad, actually. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I imagine it would be fun. But for us normal people, they will be releasing a lot of Batman movies back into theaters, including Batman Mask of the Phantasm, considered one of the best Batman movies. It was a movie based on the Batman animated series.
Let's fucking go.
I personally love it. I'm going to be there. I think I already have my ticket.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to look for tickets after this today because I really want to see that.
And for $35, you can get yourself a special Batman popcorn bucket that is the bat signal, and it turns on after you eat it, or during if you want slightly warmer popcorn.
If you want to see your popcorn a little bit,
you can you can blind the other people in the theater.
Dude, I want that popcorn bucket so bad. I want it so bad.
If someone's laughing a little bit too hard, hey, dickhead!
Exactly. One other thing of superhero news is that Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse 3, whatever that's going to be
Beyond
called.
the Spider-Verse.
Beyond the Spider-Verse was it indefinitely delayed again, or was it like 3 years plus down the line, did they say? Either way, they kicked it real far down again. It's not anytime soon.
I think it's late 2026 now.
Yeah.
So 2 years from now.
Yeah, I don't.
Good.
Which is good.
Remember when it was slated to come out last year?
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. I mean, good that they're not whipping the animators anymore. And hopefully
we don't know
better.
that.
Well, yeah, I guess they're whipping them quieter now, but
longer,
yeah. Chain whip instead.
Much slower lashes.
Yeah, guys.
Nolan.
Keep it going, Nolan. Come on.
Yeah.
It's I think it's ultimately for the better that they're delaying it. Hopefully this time they can get a script together and be like, hey guys, we're going to stick to this the whole time.
Hey guys, we're going to do
Yeah.
this script. It's not going to be 3 movies. It's going to be 1. We're going to have an ending. It's going to be nice. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, because that's what the new Captain America movie went through. They went through like so many different directors. They went through like 6 different rewrites or something like that.
They had
Something
3
crazy.
separate areas of reshoots.
3
It was
separate
pretty
areas of
bad.
reshoot. It's like Frankenstein at this point. It's been taken apart and put back together so many times that I'm gonna be real. I'm not gonna see it, but I don't think it's gonna do too well. I really don't. And if I'm pleasantly surprised, good for them. But
I think it's going to make money. I don't think it's going to be rated well.
no, I mean, a lot of the future upcoming Marvel projects that they have, like that, then there's like the Thunderbolts or whatever. None of them sound interesting, like at all. I'm gonna be honest.
They're looking for their new lightning rod character right now. Is what they want. Yeah.
Spider-Man, dude, just bring back Spider-Man. Make a new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, new Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Back to basics, back to peak. It'd be good. It'd be great.
Yeah, back the dark.
Do we have more news though?
Oh boy, do I? So we did reviews on these movies, but they were cut. We had some big stinkers come out this summer. Both of these are rated currently by critics under 10%. We have Borderlands, the movie.
What?
And we have The Crow.
Those are my favorite movies of the summer.
2 favorite canons, yeah.
Both of these were released by Lionsgate. And they're still trying their hardest to advertise it to people, and no one's buying. I think it was opening day for The Crow 2 days ago, because we're recording this on Sunday, and it got $4 million.
Yeah, let me tell you, don't even know what The Crow is right now.
I'm gonna be real. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's a remake of an older movie. It was famous for having one of their stars die during the filming from an accident on set, and it's sort of just this sort of edgy movie. Yeah, they remade it with Bill Skarsgård. I think he's a good actor. I also think the movie looks bad. It certainly was rated bad.
That's a shame.
He got a
Bill
Modern Warfare
Skarsgård's good.
skin. He got a Modern Warfare skin though.
He did. That's true. Yeah. How could he?
How could it be bad? They got him in Modern Warfare.
But yeah.
I love the idea of just like throwing money at just IP, because Lionsgate has been doing this for a while, and they hit big with Hunger Games as probably their biggest success.
Yeah.
But you can't do that forever.
Yeah.
No, you can't, because the last one didn't do well too. So
yeah. Some other news we have: The Toxic Avenger. I don't know if you guys know it. It was a film by I think
we've talked about it a few times.
We mentioned it before. Yeah.
Lloyd Webber was a favorite at Fantastic Fest, which is some festival that was done, I think, a year ago now today. 98% from critics. Stars Elijah Wood, Peter Dinklage, Kevin Bacon. Still cannot find anyone to distribute it. The actors and the director have been talking about it. Nobody's taking
it's ready. It's already ready to go and everything. It's just no one wants
it's
it.
done.
Wow.
It
has critic reviews in, and it's good, but no one's willing to release it. It's very interesting.
Then we have to.
You know what, guys? I was thinking about it. I think we should take them up.
I think we got to release the Toxic Avenger.
I think if we put out Toxic Avenger, we just got to get it for the public. Do it for the people,
It's very interesting because when you look at the Toxic Avenger, you also have to talk about the director of the original. And I forget his name. Let me look it up. But what I do know about him is he has created an incredible atmosphere for movies nowadays, because he was, I guess, a cult favorite for his B-list movies, and it ended up inspiring a lot of actors and directors we know today. Most notably, he was the mentor of James Gunn, who is now the executive producer of DC Studios.
Yeah, we love James Gunn.
You liked Guardians 3. That was his last movie.
Thank God. No, it's good.
I hope that gets a home somewhere, because then I can watch it and be like, it was okay.
Yeah.
We can finally watch it and say it was all right.
Now, I'm looking at the movie news here. What the fuck is New Iratu? What is that?
Okay. Alejandro Iñárritu is a director. He's well known for making Birdman and the Revenant, which is what won Leonardo DiCaprio his Oscar.
Yeah.
He is coming out with a new film some far in the future, but it has seemingly a great plot and a incredible cast. I can pull it up here, but what I remember is it stars Tom Cruise and Jesse Plemons.
Ooh, those are pretty big names. That'll be good. That sounds like it'll be good, especially Birdman, because I really enjoyed Birdman. I haven't seen the other, but if it's anything like that, then it should really be fun.
So this is what it says. Warner Brothers and Legendary Entertainment are in negotiation for an untitled Iñárritu film starring Tom Cruise. What is known is that the Oscar-winning director has been talking meetings with a select few actors, Cruise being the top. This is a bad article. It just keeps saying the same thing over and over again. I have it saved on my phone, but my phone's in a different room.
That is okay. We do not need all of it.
Okay. Just know that I'm a big Birdman fan. I'm really excited to see where this project goes. I think it has a great plot from what I read, something about the most powerful man in the world trying to find his place and what to do, and a large cast of characters trying to influence him. I'm excited for it. I know his last movie, Bardo, didn't do as good, but it was also in Spanish. So,
That sounds cool, though. I'm definitely interested in that. But what else? Do you have any more news, or is that all?
One more news.
Last news of Christmas.
Somebody listen up. The last bit of news.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes promised that in its physical release, there was going to be a cut without any special effects. So you can see what it's like to act as an ape for these actors. And it has just recently come out. So if you really want, you can go online or in a video store, buy yourself a DVD or Blu-ray of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and just watch a version where you don't see any apes.
So it's just great. Like dudes like going, ooh.
Yes.
And just like hobbling. Dude, I'm so I'm set.
It's going to be great.
That. I'm watching that.
They sent out a preview for people who want to buy it. It looks incredible. What's especially good is how you can tell how much they put into the setting of it, because this is a franchise that cannot exist without special effects, without CGI, but they spend so much time still trying to make it feel as real as possible.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is really cool to see all that set design and stuff, and I'm kind of excited to watch that cut.
That's such a clever idea, to release like a no VFX cut. I'd love to see other like films do that more. I think that's such a clever idea. I'd love to see that for Alien, to see like more like well, I mean, they use a lot of practical effects, but I'd love to see like a lot
more behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing that with the next Lion King movie, Mufasa.
Oh boy,
that.
To see a man like walking on all fours. It's gonna be hype.
No, don't worry. You just see the rainforest.
I remember when the preview came on for Mufasa when I was watching Covenant with Nick. I was like, yeah, because we really wanted another.
I've always wanted a brother.
Yay, more Mufasa. Yay.
Mufasa. Because I turned to Nick and he's like, isn't that just like Lion King 2? I was like, no, this is like a new story. This is like new canon to the Lion King universe. And he's like,
Yeah, it doesn't look good. What's weird is that the director is Barry Jenkins, who previously won Best Director and Best Picture for Moonlight. So why is he doing this?
Jenkins sounds like the name of an old miner, but either way,
sounds like a Gravity Falls character.
Yeah, exactly. This has been WAM episode 42. This week we watched Alien Romulus. It's a lot of fun. We all enjoyed it. Hopefully next week we'll be back with some movie. We're not quite sure yet. Actually,
we're just gonna rewatch Alien Romulus again. And we're just
probably most likely
this time in reverse.
Yeah, but so you guys really got to pay attention.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yep.
But we hope you all enjoyed. We'll see you back here next week. This has been Wham.
And you've been whammed.
Bye. See you later.
I'm sweating so much right now.